Once upon a time, in a land far away, there was a large castle and a beautiful garden. And in the garden was beautiful grass. What other things were in the garden? Giants. You're right. Well, there will be a giant, you're right. What other things were in the garden? Do we come and sit down? What other things were in the garden? There were trees. There were trees, there were apple trees and peach trees, and running through was a beautiful stream. You were right. There was a stream. And in the garden, all the children who lived in the village came to play. They loved it because usually all they had was stony roads. And they played all day. This is lovely! Now if I say, and the birds chirp, can you all go, or chirp, 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 chirp? Right, are you ready? And in the garden, and in the trees, all the birds chirped. Love, and everybody was really happy. Now, what's important, I haven't told you this yet. The giant had been away for 7 whole years. He was seeing a friend of his who lived in Cornwall. He was the Cornish giant. Well, after a while, they ran out of things to talk about. But this is what happened next. Now, when I say they heard the footsteps of the giant, boom, if you could go boom, boom, boom. When I say they heard the footsteps of the giant, am I right? Or if you want to clap, boom, whatever you want to do. So suddenly, the children were playing in the garden, having a wonderful time. And suddenly, we got a background sound as well. Suddenly they heard the footsteps of the giant. Boom, 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 boom. Louder, boom, 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 boom. And then, looking over all the children, was the giant. The children looked up. Everybody look up. There's the giant up there. Don't look in the sun, by the way. Just look at the tree. And they were shivering a bit. They were frightened of the giant. And the giant said to the children, "What are you doing playing in my garden? This is my garden. Leave." All the children, they all scuttled away and left the garden. You'll never guess what the giant did. What did he build around his garden?
A fence.
A fence. He built a really, really massive fence, a really strong fence. And then he did a great big notice. And on the notice it said, "Trespassers will be prosecuted," which means nobody's allowed in my garden. And he opened his door with a creak. So when I go with a creak, I want you to go, right? He opened the door with a creak. And he went upstairs. Footsteps have been going upstairs. Thump, 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 thump. And at last, there was his beautiful bed. "Well, go to sleep now," said the giant. "No more children in my garden." Well, spring came, and summer. What came next?
Autumn.
Yes, you want to start right. And suddenly, the giant decided to look out of the window. And as he looked out, he couldn't believe his eyes, because all around the outside of the garden were beautiful trees growing and the leaves turning gold. But in his garden, nothing was happening. Couldn't understand it. And suddenly, he listened and he heard a tremendous wind blow, a hurricane. Can we all make the sound of a hurricane? He listened, he heard the sound of a hurricane. And he heard the chimney pots rattling. He rattled a bit, rattled. And then the next thing he heard was hail. The hail pitter-patter down on the tiles of the castle. Pitter-patter, pitter-patter, pitter-patter. Whatever's happening, I have to wait till spring, said the giant. Well, spring came, and he looked out of his window, hoping to see his garden beautifully grown. But what was there in the garden? Nothing. You're right. Absolutely nothing was growing. But outside the wall, it was beautiful. Not understanding, said the giant. He got back into bed. But as he listened the next morning, he heard the sound of a bird.
I heard a bird as soon as you said that.
And he drew back the curtain. And there, sitting on the window ledge, was a little linnet. And this bird was singing his heart out. Everybody sing. Chip, 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 chip. But then he looked, and he couldn't believe what he saw, because all of his garden was coming into bloom. Yeah. And there were birds singing around the trees, and then a little pond was full of them, full of fish jumping. I can't believe this, said the giant. So he went downstairs, opened the door with a creak, and then he knew why the garden was so beautiful. Because the children had found a little crack in the fence and had gone into the garden. And they were just about to run away. And the giant said, please, children, don't go. I have been such a selfish giant. I want you to stay here. And this is your garden. Your garden. But over in the far corner, there was a tree. No leaves on it. No blossoms, and around the top of the tree, a hurricane was blowing, and hail was going, and there was a little boy crying at the bottom of the tree. He couldn't climb up. So the giant went over and very gently lifted up the little boy and put him in the tree. And suddenly, the hail and the frost and the hurricane left. The tree came into blossom. The children started to play again. And when their mums and dads and carers came by, they said, can't believe it. Look, there's the giant playing in the garden. And the giant said, you are all welcome anytime. This is your garden. Everybody said thank you and cheered.